back here on the pitch. You did just watch the played Consolation game, the two teams that lost in semi, but we got the winners now. On pitch, it's San Diego State versus Claremont. Now, Will Hooley, former USA player, you've been watching these boys play for a full weekend. Who's your money on now?
Well, I mean, look, these two sides are probably going to be nip and tuck, and I do think maybe the conditions might play a factor. We talked about this slight wind. Claremont playing from right to left. They will have that wind. Do they use that? We've been asking this all day today. Maybe they do. I do think, keep an eye out on this Claremont side. There's some real star threats across the board. None other than number 7, Kashvili, who's got his hands on the ball now. Watch out for him.
And right away in anger, he tries to put the foot down and he manages to. Jake Allheiser has the unenviable task of trying to mark him out there, and he's really put the stamp on the game early by scoring off the first possession. It looks like, Jeremy, he's nearly been holding that back for the whole tournament.
Well, yeah, I think he probably was saving his legs a little bit, but, you know, very impressive. But, you know, starts with his strength and his step, and then just speed on the edge. And, you know, he's a hard guy to tackle, you know, when in tight quarters, but when he's got some space, it's almost impossible. Yeah,
you can see him there on screen. He's a strong lad. Coming all the way from Georgia, and he's been a real leader with this group here at Claremont. As we said, you heard the ankle a little bit earlier in the day, and he's been resting that, but no signs of hurt there as he absolutely smoked on the outside. Let's have a look at this replay, Will.
Yeah, well, I talked him up, and as soon as he got the ball in his hands, he does this. Fantastic, just goes on the outside, backs his pace. It's so hard as a defender when you've got someone like that in front of you. He can run over the top of you, he can fend you, and he can also gas you on the outside. Not fun for that SDSU defender there, but for Kashvili, a wonderful try. Claremont in the lead, but that doesn't go 10 metres.
Doesn't go 10, and Sam Brown will be disappointed with that. He's actually been putting up some absolutely fantastic high ball restarts all weekend, but he won't be happy with that one in the play final. San Diego State have the ball.
Yeah,
he's looking to redeem himself from just missing that tackle. Allheiser gets the pop off the deck. That's fantastic play. Ronan Green here brings us up to the Claremont 22. As we said before, we really think these are going to be two evenly matched sides.
Yeah, they look evenly matched so far. The Aztecs are really, going down the edge there. They're going to score from that one. So an even contest, and looking forward to the next several minutes. I think we're going to have a lot of back and forth with these two teams.
That's Fleming to Oberpriller, and you could just hear that intensity from the San Diego State bench. They hated that start when they conceded the try without even going touch, but that's fantastic play, bringing it back to 5-5 with the conversion to come.
I love it that it means something today to these guys. It really does. This West Coast Sevens. Great to have everyone with us wherever you're watching, from the Rugby Network or, of course, on Cox. And just bringing this game not quite level. Now SDSU with that kick, that means it goes 7-5, the 2 extra points. And it was just a lovely set of hands. The ball out in front. When you got movement like this, you want the ball out in front so you don't have to break stride. Look at that. Good pick up in the end. Ball out in front. Everything was in motion. Simple things done like that well in Rugby Sevens do make such an impact.
Yeah, very attractive rugby by the Aztecs. They'll be looking to continue that. Now we've got another kick. Let's see if we get any contest on this one.
And Ronan Green with the restart has decided to do just a little chip over the top. It's Brown who takes it with the bobble, but possession is regained, but the territory is all the way down in the Claremont half, and that's forced a knock on. That's very simple pressure from SDSU.
Yeah, well, really good and interesting tactic and defence there. They really got off the line. Rather than sort of trying to be together, pushing an attack onto the outside towards the touchline, they actually got off the line and put Claremont under pressure. And in doing that, they forced the knock-on, and they forced themselves with an attacking scrum just inside the Claremont 22. Great place, great defence from SDSU.
And you can see the setup. They've split players on either side of the scrum, which causes the defence to have to split as well, which leaves a little bit of room for Colin Albert. He puts out a stiff right arm fend, and he's still on his feet. The left one comes out now, and he manages to evade another tackle. Claremont try to poach, but he's not on the ball, just on the player, and that's a lovely transfer pass across the body, and San Diego State are in for their second.
Oh, that's wonderful play down that edge. Baden Davis getting in, and deserved as well. He's been a big part in some of the handling and some of the quality that has been in this SDSU first half performance. And that was really nice, really good work to go through the contact, recycle the ball, and actually jack back down the blind side, I should say. Really high energy stuff, kept the ball alive. And in sevens, sometimes it's just about that. The movement of the ball, don't let the defense catch their breath. Conversion, let's just say, no good. SDSU, though, with a 12-5 to lead. Claremont, well, what do you make of this, Jeremy, against your boys? It's good work, though, from SDSU, isn't it?
Great work. I mean, we've talked about Baden Davis. I think he's probably been about the best Aztec or one of the top two this weekend and continue to show it. And again, they exposed Claremont's right edge, two scores on the left. And so there's going to have to be some positional adjustments by Claremont in order to counter that, because they're struggling on that side.
Rona Green won't be too stoked on that conversion attempt, but he's been doing well with the restarts. He seems to be just trying to put them down there deep and play territory, maybe force a mistake, same as last time. Good carry there from Claremont, and they're in a similar position that they were before. Can they hold on to the ball this time? Looking to get it to Mate Kurikashvili. They've got two on him this time, but he still managed to get an out the back offload away, which brings us up to the halfway line. This is Claremont's time now, and the offload goes again. It's that man Mate Kurikashvili, and now he moves it to the side. Can we see it go over to our number 10, Sam Brown? Good bit of footwork brings us up to the 22. Positive play from Claremont here, and a little bit of calmness. They hold their feet, stay nice and deep, and now the space opens up in the middle and they take it. No one from San Diego State challenges the ruck. They decide to stay on their feet. Little bit of a pick from the base, number 6, and a pass out the back and a cross to Sam Brown, and if this one goes in, it is very well deserved.
I mean, that whole passage of play will be some of the best play that has happened today. I'm going to hand it over to you, Jeremy, as I know you're part of this Claremont organisation. You must have been so pleased by how they just moved the ball, recycled it so well as well, and it looked like they were in complete control, Claremont.
They did look in control. I'm actually gobsmacked by how good that was. And what I really liked was, you used the term yesterday, there was a lot of Sonny Bill Williams, out the back passes. I think we saw 2 or 3 in that sequence that ended up with Sam Brown scoring in the corner. So once again, Claremont shows what they're capable of when they can stay in structure and support each other. It's when they get a little bit frantic that I think they're starting to struggle.
And a decent effort nudge from Sam Brown right from the edge, but unfortunately does not go over. At half-time, it's going to be SDSU 12 and Claremont 10. We've got 2 coaches with them, Ryan Mattias and Scott Bracken. Going to be some stern words at half-time, or just a bit of calmness?
I think I'd go for the calm route. Both teams are playing well. Both teams are tired. I don't think this time of day is when you try and rile them up. I think you talk about a couple of positional adjustments that perhaps need to be made.
Yeah, as we look at this replay here, it was initially Sam Brown who got tackled on the edge, and the ball goes back into the inside. We are going to eventually get it back to Sam Brown. And as you said there before, taking space and playing what's in front of them. That lovely overhead view from the TVX channel. Kurikashvili draws in one defender, and we get that Sonny Bill out the back play, and we're back again to Sam Brown, who had the initial carry, and he manages to score the try. Great camera work and a great try. Half-time here at the West Coast Sevens. It is the plate final, and it is 12 points to 10 in favour of San Diego State over Claremont.
Yeah, we've got an exciting 7 minutes ahead, I believe. Both teams, right in it right now, slight edge to the Aztecs, but we know in sevens that can change in the matter of 5 seconds. So I'm sure that Claremont are confident with some of the things they did in the first half. They do have to sort out the defense a little bit, and then they have to adapt to some of the defensive pressure that San Diego State are putting on, where they gave a silly knock on in their own 22. So definitely clean-up work to do.
Of course, and you talk about pressure. Let's add on top of that these boys have played, some of them 60, maybe 50, 60 minutes of footy already. It's getting hotter out here. Will, what kind of things does that do to the body and the mind?
Oh, well, the mind, you're just thinking, get through it. Get through it after 2 days of what is really high intense rugby sevens. Of course, rugby has 2 formats, the 15s game and then this sevens game. And in this sevens game, you can't hide. You're out there, you've got to work both sides of the ball. Every single one of these athletes throughout these teams have done so well in that area. In the end, you've got to have some composure and some control as well. We saw that with Claremont's last try. They really worked together, kept the ball in hand, And also those offloads were going to hand as well. There was a lovely bit of composure to make sure they got over the line. So we're interesting part of the game here. 7 minutes left for Claremont to come back.
Sam Brown putting a high one up. Aidan Fleming's looking to win this ruck, which he does. Great body position. It looks like we've a little bit of space for Ronan Green on the short side, but he skips back in field. And a good carry. You can see that this San Diego State team really look to the offload every time. And that's Mate Kirikashvili was right over the ball to win that penalty for holding, and he carries hard to restart this second half. He wants to start the second just like he did the first with a try.
Yeah, good ball retention here by Claremont, just trying to build and now looking for some space to hit out to Sam and Zach on the edge.
Sam Brown straightens up. He's looking to get his another try in succession, but he's brought down. Great ruck win, and they are really in try scoring territory now. Robert Green tries to shoot, and ref has called a penalty for crossing and possibly down to the shoot from the defence. That far out, just making a read and trying to push him back in towards traffic.
Yeah, last-ditch defence from SDSU. In the end, maybe being the difference. It was also probably the way that he wanted to go down that blind side, the Claremont number 6. Ultimately, I could see why he was seeing space, but he was going back towards some traffic. That traffic was the reason that you can't in rugby have an obstruction in front of you, someone who doesn't have the ball blocking the defender. That's why the penalty was given, and that's why SDSU managed to get away with it and get outside of the 22.
Ronan Green, the man who did shoot out of the line and kick to touch, has thrown into the line out and is doing a lot of the shot calling for this San Diego State team. Just as he's tackled, it's judged the ball to have gone forward. It's 12 points to 10, so Claremont with just a 2-point deficit. A try for 5 points would put them ahead.
If I was Claremont now, Jeremy, I can come to you, but wouldn't you want your number 7, your main man, get his hands on the ball early? Try and give him the ball in that outside channel, give him a one-on-one. Doesn't need to be clever. The number 7, Kirikashvili for Claremont, you need to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I think right now looking with Sam at first receiver and then Mate and then Laskowski on the edge, but oh, it was a mistake there, and scrum actually goes to the Aztecs. What I was going to say as well from the previous, almost try for Claremont, I think Sam Brown made a big mistake when he was cutting out to the left. He had Zach Gaw on the edge. I think it's just a simple pass to him and they go in. Sam tried to go himself and they end up getting turned over. So that when they have an opportunity, you've got to take it.
We are going to scrum down again, and that is the man, Ronan Green, who did see an opportunity off that last turnover. But the referee has pulled it back, but it will be a San Diego State possession. They've got a man in the pocket, as they say, right in behind the scrum. They're just outside their own 22. They have a little bit of a breeze. We haven't seen too much kicking today, but possibly will. That could be an option here.
Just to relieve themselves, yeah. We talked about it a lot. People are, I guess, are afraid to give the ball away, but I'm not sure whether actually getting some good territory is a bad thing, but they still keep the ball in hand, SDSU.
And as we say that, they get some good ground gained on the outside, but that's Mate Kirikashvili who shepherds him and then wrestles him into touch, and it is a turnover, and the option of territory is not taken, and we're still living down here in this San Diego State half. They are 2 points ahead, but they are really feeling the pressure now, and you feel like there's been a few missed opportunities from Claremont, but possibly a try could be coming.
Well, a try is coming one way or the other. Again, Claremont has to go back to how they played clean last time with a beautiful score on the far right hand side in the first half, and again they've got away from that now. They're loose with the ball. Set piece isn't going great for them, so they're a little bit on the back foot right now. They need to change the momentum.
Ball coming in from Ronan Green. It's one from the middle jumper. Claremont are contesting the rucks, but it's one from the San Diego State side, and now we do see the chip, and it's a foot race. Yes, can this number 12, Baden Davies, get himself all the way down? Oh, is that a knock-on in the try zone? The referees also joined that foot race. To be fair play to him. He was right there with them to see that there was a knock-on in goal, and even though they haven't got the try, though, there is a territory switch right now. Well, 2 points up with 2 minutes to go.
He was screaming for it here. I mean, particularly when you're in the lead, just getting the ball downfield one way or the other, and the hack through. In the end, Baden Davis, you thought for all money, just dive on it. Don't try and pick it up, just dive on it. In the end, he tries to pick it up in the end zone and knocks it on.
Ball going into the scrum there, and you can see Sam Brown is desperately trying to get the ball to Matej Kirishkashvili. He throws a little dummy, steps off the right again. Now he finds space, and now it's back to Brown, and now we have another foot race. Will he pop it back over the top? He throws a right-hand fend, and Claremont have gone from 22 to opposition try line. That is a fantastic finish.
Yeah, great score. And again, Sam Brown, Mate teaming up. Really nice breakout from their 22. Again, I think there'll be some tired bodies after that one. But again, very impressive. When they have the ball in hand, they make smart decisions. They're a very dangerous team. When they're loose with it, they're a very average team.
Helps when you got Kirikashvili, who literally just beat a few people for fun, drew in the 2-on-1. And actually talking about the talisman, Sam Brown, Kirikashvili, they were just together going all the way up the field. So here we go, there's a minute left. This conversion will be important, as now Claremont have a 17-12 lead.
He really took his time about that one. We've actually seen a couple of lads being pulled. You have 30 seconds to take that conversion, and he must have taken every single second out of that one. Just as we watch the replay from their own try line to try line, you can see one step off the right, two step off the right, and it's Sam Brown in support. And look at that, he puts the foot down, he puts in a right hand fend, and that is no mean feat to be able to run it in from try line to try line.
So we're into the last minute of the game. You know, now it's about possession. Claremont will want to pressure them, keep them down their end. The Aztecs will be looking to break deep.
All right, lads, 30 seconds. He decided to switch it up with the kick. I know he was going to try go high there and regain possession, but it hasn't gone 10 meters, which it must. And now possession goes back to San Diego State, and they now have an opportunity to win this game.
I do think that was probably the wrong decision. I know it's going into a slight bit of a wind, but...
Oh, and a tip there. A tip tackle with the legs being taken above horizontal. That'll mean a card no matter what, whether there was intent involved or not.
And it was Sam Brown obviously having the mistake from the restart, maybe wanting to try and make a difference, and in the end, aggression just costing him and his side.
Sam Brown's going to come over and take a seat. He can barely look at the action right now, as it gives a little bit more space, and plus there is a trip as well. Two Claremont players falling over each other. Colin Albert's now a hero earlier in the day, but it's Mate trying to get his hands on the ball. Was he on his feet? Referee says yes. Wow, that is a very crucial decision and a very crucial poach for Matej Kirikashvili, as we have 0 on the clock. Is that the end of the game?
Well, if he taps it and puts it into touch, it's the end of the game, and I can't see him trying to be creative here, so it looks like he's going to touch.
Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter how it goes into touch, it just must. And that is the end of the game, with a last minute winner from Claremont, 17 points to 12. That is sevens, baby.
Oh man, right to the end. It would have to be that man on screen, number 7, Kirikashvili. Not only the hero in setting up the try to win it for Claremont, but also getting that turnover right at the death, inside his own half. I have Jeremy Ognall, who's obviously part of the Claremont organisation for their rugby programme, fist pumping behind me. Well done, Jeremy. Well done to Claremont. They finish off their campaign with a win and taking a little bit of silverware home as well.
Yeah, I'm really happy for the boys. They worked hard this weekend. We talked about some improvements some teams have shown from 2 weeks ago. Some tremendous improvements through this weekend for Claremont. So, you know, Coach Ray Egan and Thorne O'Connell, Scott Bracken will be pleased. Taking home a trophy is a good thing. Just got to keep working hard.
Yes, and as we see the boys from Claremont leave the pitch in celebration, we are moving on to a very, very tough game to call. This is the 3rd, 4th place game. Both these lads had extremely tough semi-finals where they've pushed the finalists right down to the last minute. We've got Grand Canyon University, who've been hot and cold all day, but at times when they're firing, they've been fantastic. And UCLA, narrow loss to USD, but at times in attack, they have been lethal.
Yeah, they have, and you could say in that USD game, probably the most hotly competitive game we've had in this 2 days of West Coast Sevens. It was really there for their own taking. Went into extra time, a last try win for USD, a golden try, I should say, in extra time that put them into the final. UCLA, have they shrugged that off and got over it so they can finish on a high, or will that affect them? Is that still playing on their mental side of things? GCU, meanwhile, really good game, as you mentioned, Ian, against Cal. They too, how they're going to react. They want to make sure they try and get this third place.
And tell me this, Will, they did play an extra few minutes in the semi-final. Will that come into play at all? Just that fatigue, playing a few more minutes of footy?
I think there's probably fatigue across the board, and I wonder now it's just who can hold on for the longest, and I mean that on a fitness side of things. We'll see from this a big 14 minutes to half of 7 minutes to be crowned a winner.
And the restart did not go 10, so it is going to be GCU who start proceedings here. And they've had a carry up into the UCLA half. We can see that maybe UCLA have a few lads who haven't gotten too many minutes, so they have lads sitting like Day and Joyce, guys who have scored worldy tries early in the tournament, so maybe giving a few new guys a run. Carry it up to the 10 metres, a strong one. This GCU side have really carried in an aggressive way at the best of times. Well, now they're going to try and find some of that width. 1 pass, 2 pass, 3 pass, and they might get to an edge here. A little bit of a one-on-one, and you see some great footwork and 2 left foot steps. And we've got our way up to the UCLA 22. And again, they're going to try find the other edge of the pitch. That's Jackson Gray who tries to get a hold of it, but it's not. It's turned over to UCLA, and now UCLA, who have been they've been a traditionally side-to-side team, trying to get through multiple passes, find one edge and then the other. And from this scrum, let's see if they can do that.
So here we go. UCLA, plenty of attacking threats. It looks like they've made a few changes from that side that obviously narrowly lost against USD, trying to use their squad in this final game for their 2 days that they've played in.
Yeah, they have Sergio Roccia on the pitch now at number 14. And the penalty will go to UCLA. It's taken quickly. 1 pass, and there is Roccia, the new player. He gets it wide to number 13. That's Seabrook, who's had a couple of tries already in the tournament. Aggressive carry. Was he lifted? The ref's not too sure. Holding on the deck. So if you're held in the tackle, you've got to release that ball, which he did not do. Pop basketball style over the top to Jackson Gray, who just leaves it behind his support player, and that's another knock on from GCU. But we've seen GCU start cold at times throughout the tournament and then all of a sudden score a few great tries. So can we expect that again today?
Well, I mean, they got excited there, the turnover, the tap and go, and it's just the last thing you want to let your opposition off the hook. Yeah, I've been at times really, really impressed by GCU. I think they've got a lot of talent, a lot of quality playmakers. Number 10, keep an eye on him. Luke Neely, I've been really impressed by him, the junior from Colorado Springs. So there's lots of talent out there. They just need to put it all together for a full game.
Ball goes in the scrum and he snipes around to the short side, seeing where the space is. Again, they try get it to the edge, and that's Seabrook maybe trying to make up for the mistake he did for giving away that penalty. UCLA holding on to the ball. As we said, they're a side-to-side team, and again they're showing that they've won the pen from GCU, who haven't managed to have much possession so far. We can hear the ice calls from the GCU bench saying sit off them, let them go side to side, and then challenge that ruck, which they do seem to be doing. They have a few big, strong lads in that GCU team. And again, there's the reward. That's an interesting one, Will. Maybe they think with this UCLA team they can just sit off them and then commit some more men to that ruck and try use their physicality.
Definitely the policy in terms of have a one-man tackle and then try and get someone on the ball as quick as possible. Obviously, if they don't get successful, then there's 2 people in that breakdown, which then potentially opens up space elsewhere. But they do well, they get that turnover, and I tell you what else has done well, that kick into touch all the way up towards the 5-metre line, and now only just 5 metres out from that UCLA line.
Yeah, Luke Neely's done really well at times, so he's popped that one into touch, and he's also going to throw to the line out. GCU have had few errors at the line out through the day, but when they get that going, they can actually really attack well. They just do a simple pop to the front. Neely gets it back, and it's Jackson Gray now in the centre. We're not too far to go to the try line. He tries the left-handed fend on Roccia, but he's equal to it. But now he pops him off and puts down another defender, and that's a fantastic individual effort from Jackson Gray.
We'll get another look at this because it was a double fend. get rid of one, get rid of the other, and just full force. You've got to be physical, even though you have more space in sevens to use footwork. And then, of course, pace. Sometimes it's that physicality that can just help you get over the line, and it did exactly that in the end for GCU. Really good play from Jackson Gray.
And it's Neely who tries to get the extra 2-point conversion, and it just slips to the side.
You mentioned this, Ian, a lovely little play at the front. Keep it simple. Get hold of possession. And there, Jackson Gray tries to go to the outside. Doesn't get that successful with his fend, but he keeps driving his feet. Doesn't just fall in contact. And in the end, he gets rewarded for it with that try.
Nuke Neely indicating that he's going to kick it over to the right-hand side. He's going to switch the play. UCLA have 2 single-man lift pods. Unfortunately, that's Seabrook with a knock-on and going to give another opportunity for this GCU side to get some points on the board. Just a few errors late in the day. These guys have played a lot of minutes, but we talked about restarts or set piece being so important, which of course we will see in the final, but it's proving to be important in this semi-final, or third place playoff I should say instead.
I think UCLA put so much emotional energy as well into that semi-final against USD. I just wonder whether they're sort of almost waking up from it. GCU definitely the ones who are reacting the best. Like it was off that kickoff, they now move this nicely to the outside.
Our man DJ has got a few tries earlier in the day. It was 2 big wide pills to try put him into a bit of space, but he stepped back in the inside twice. But we might find Neely and Jackson Gray linking again. He doesn't need the link. He's going to go the whole way. And this man's doing fantastically well. Not only is he facilitating and assisting tries, he's scoring them himself.
Mentioned him earlier. He's had a really good couple of days. And when GCU have gone well, he's really at the forefront, being the leader, being the playmaker, but as you mentioned there, Ian, doing it all himself nicely in a second try, a well-earned second try for GCU as we come towards the end of this first half. Can he add the extras? Having a 12-point lead against UCLA, be very good work from GCU.
Yeah, we talked about these conversions being important, and as well, a 10-point differential, probably not too much, especially considering it seems like this UCLA side are resting a few players for the first half. What do you reckon, Will? Do you reckon we might see some of their starters return to get that third place title at the West Coast Sevens?
Potentially. They have got a good squad. I'm looking at a few names in particular, the likes of a Max Griffiths, Josh Cox, being really key for them in this tournament, but we're having another look there at Luke Neely's try. GCU would be happy with their work in that first half, but then they're going to be going into the wind. We've talked about it. Will someone use it? We saw SDSU use it in the previous game, kicking it downfield, hacking it on, and nearly scoring a try. Maybe that's something, having the wind on their backs, UCLA will really help them.
And at halftime here, Jeremy, you've got with you a player in the booth from the previous game. Let's hear from one of the players.
Yeah, guys, Jeremy here. Thanks for having me back. I have with me Sam Brown, captain of the victorious Claremont Lions. So, Sam, tell me firstly how you're feeling about the weekend, and then we'll talk about the actual result.
Absolutely. I mean, this tournament couldn't have been any better. Organized amazingly, such an amazing venue for it, and really privileged to have the ability to play here on the lovely weekend. And our performance, I couldn't be more proud of the boys. We had a great showing, especially on day 2, went 3-0 and were able to take home the plate. An outstanding effort from the guys today, and a real team win, team effort today.
Yeah, definitely a team win, some great performances. Nick Laskowski had a great weekend. You had a really good weekend, scored a lot of points with the heartbeat of our team. But there's one guy who stood out to us and to the commentary team. So give me some comments on Mate and the impact he's making on the program.
Absolutely. Mate joined us for the first year, coming from Kutztown, originally from Georgia. And honestly, I'd never met anyone from Georgia. And I'm very proud that Mate is the first Georgian I've ever met, because he is one heck of a rugby player. The attitude he brings to the team, the way that he plays on the field, and just a standout individual. Definitely one of the best players I've ever played alongside of. So it's an honor to play with Mate.
Well stated. Again, congratulations to you and all the boys. Go enjoy the celebration. I'm sure some ice baths and maybe a couple of Diet Cokes this evening to cool yourself down. But congrats, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremy.
Great work, Jeremy. It must be said, I know he's a proud man as well, as being a proud association with Claremont. Congratulations to them. Ending on a high in this game, though. This is the third place playoff in this cup competition. The cup consolation game between UCLA playing in light blue and, of course, GCU playing in that purple kit. GCU have the lead 10 points to nothing. I'm joined, of course, here myself, Will Hooley, joined by Ian Denham, who's been on the play-by-play. Brilliant all this weekend, Ian, but we have still got this second half to deal with.
Yeah, we've got the second half to deal with before we go into the big dance in the final. But GCU are up 10 points to 0. Do you think they can hold on for the remaining 6 minutes here, or will UCLA score a couple just as we watch our man Jackson Gray go through? Maybe he's gonna change that answer for you.
I think he was answering your question. Maybe he heard you on the sideline there. Brilliant work from Gray. Really strong game he's having. And talk about making sure you start that second half as you left off from the end of the first half. He's done exactly that, given his team a third try underneath the posts. Good work from GCU. I have to say, this is a really good performance, a strong performance that we haven't always seen from this Grand Canyon side throughout the weekend.
Yeah, and with the positive performance as well, you can see as Neely makes the conversion. You've got to say as well that there seems to be an air of disappointment about the UCLA boys. They had such a tough semi against USD where they were ahead for a while. Let's have a little look at this replay.
Yeah, you spot on there, Ian. I do think emotionally and physically all their energy is gone from that mammoth semi-final they had against USD. And just a slip-off tackle. It's a shame. Nothing through a lack of effort, but in the end, tackling not going low enough, and Gray gets the handoff on the try. Great work.
Restart goes high from Neely, and it's a great single-man lift there, but GCU show their real aggressive nature around that breakdown by counter-rucking, and they are making it hell at the ruck area for UCLA, and now it could be even a choke tackle. He drops them down, but UCLA are certainly under pressure here with the aggression from GCU.
Trying to work their way out. They're coming in thick and fast with the turnovers. Again, GCU get the ball back. They've been so good in that contact area today.
That's Luke Neely and Jackson Gray, and Kenny Pison is going to go from the base, put up a little bit of a left-hand fend and go in for a try. I'm actually not too sure where GCU have got this energy from. This is probably the most energy I've seen from them the whole day. Maybe they're just not satisfied with the result and getting knocked out in the semi, and there was either some stern words from the coaches or from the leaders.
I have to say, I know Sean O'Leary is watching on. Proud association that he has with the rugby program at GCU. Sean, I'm sure you're very happy watching the boys perform like they did to finish the day in the style that they have. There's still time in this match, but you're looking at the heads of UCLA. They look like their heads are down. Meanwhile, GCU, their chests are up and they're ready. They want to keep going.
Yeah, of course. The chat from the touchline is very, very positive from the substitutes, the coaches, the support staff, even the medics. It's currently 17 points to 0 with 3.5 minutes left in the second half. This is, of course, the third place game in the cup. So the winner of this game will be ranked third in the West Coast Sevens tournament, which is a good achievement. I'll tell you what, that restart is fantastically taken well for the second time. The ruck isn't as fought as intensely as the last one, and UCLA have a chance to play with the ball now. They really haven't had too many opportunities in this whole game. Carry there on the far side of the pitch, and you can just see the warlike effort from the GCU teams anytime there's a contact situation, and UCLA are not that type of team. They want to avoid the contact. They want to go from side to side. They want to get lads like Seabrook here into space, and he's managed to go a couple of steps. That is actually Daniel Odin Jimney. Fantastic step from him. But they are still in their own 22, and the pressure on here from Jackson Gray and the GCU support staff is huge. Will UCLA opt to kick? No, they don't. They're carrying it. They're trying to offload. But now we've got a bit of space. Can we see Rocchio, the new man, go the full distance to GCU? Chaser says, I don't have it in my hamstrings. I'm saving it for the after party. And Rocchio gets to go the full way and score under the six. Under the sticks is probably well deserved for UCLA. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone quit on a chase like that.
You know what? That is a man who I think feels that he knows his team's in the lead and is in the ascendancy in this game and just goes, I'm gone. I'm gassed, guys. Give this moment to UCLA. Will he come to regret that? Maybe. There's still Nearly just under 2 minutes left. But great work in the end by UCLA, just staying in the fight. Sometimes that's all it is in sevens. Gets a lucky bounce and the ball flies away. Watch this, gets to halfway. No, that will do.
Listen,
that will do.
We've seen our man DJ score a few tries throughout the weekend, so maybe he can be forgiven on that one. Maybe his hamstrings at him. He's getting a few pats and a few chats from the lads on the bench over there. There's no sympathy for him though. These GCU boys are up 22 points to 7, with a lot of thanks from him for scoring tries in the earlier rounds. Jackson Gray, he straightens up and carries well, and now it's time for UCLA to try put some pressure on the opposition breakdown, which they do. You know, anything can happen with the sevens game. If they did manage to get a 7-pointer now, they'd have to go 2 more. I tell you what, it's a tough ask, but let's see what happens here. Good effort and a great step there. Pill goes wide. We have a shooter, but the one-on-one tackle is avoided, and the 2 lads on the edge are going to bundle over. That's a fantastic finish. That's Odengini. It's a hard one to pronounce, I'll tell you that, but I'm doing my best. If I've got that wrong, I apologise. But I'll tell you what, really good finish on the edge, and he gets another great try for UCLA.
They're going to rush this conversion, which they do, and it's over. So it is 14 points. They will have to score literally off the kickoff, and the kickoff needs to happen very quickly because unfortunately time is running out. But good work from UCLA to stay in it. You could just say this kind of ball movement and stepping, they just didn't really have the opportunity to show in the first half, and in the end they do show it now, but time is up. This is all too little too late.
Yeah, it might be too little too late. Just as I say that, there's a fantastic restart put up and a fantastic tap back, and that is Seabrook. And I'll tell you what, if they do score off this, it's one of the better ones we've seen all day. Huge ruck comes in, and then it is the number 10, Ewan Latimer, who goes in under the 6. The referee's actually going to have a little look at his watch here now, and his time might be a little different to ours, but no, the crew here at VTX Sports have their times to perfection. That is the end of the game. It's 22 points to 21. We thought it was a runaway from GCU, but great fight back from the UCLA team. It seemed like their heads had dropped early after losing that 3rd place game, but it's great for them to get a few fantastic tries at the end.
Yeah, look, they have really genuinely shown quality in their team throughout the weekend. I mean, none more so than that tap back off the kickoff. That was brilliant, landing into the hands, I think, of Seabrook, who runs away, and then they work from that for the try. But I honestly think that first half was purely based on the emotional energy that they just had in their semi-final, which they just couldn't really come back from. They looked like a side that was sluggish and slow because they worked so hard in the game before. In the end, it was that first half from GCU that gave them the win, 22 points to 21 against UCLA. So for GCU to get 3rd place at this West Coast Sevens, you've got to hand it to them.
Yeah, I thought it was really impressive. You know, UCLA too little too late. Again, the last few minutes were spectacular. They should have switched on a bit sooner, but all credit GCU.
All right, lads. Yeah, fantastic 3rd place game, but we are moving towards the final now at the West Coast Sevens. You are here at the West Coast Sevens in the Olympic Training Center in Chula Vista, San Diego. We've got 2 fantastic teams here for finals footy. We've got Cal Berkeley versus USD. Now, we did just discuss Cal before that, but we've seen USD, this local team, take down UCLA in the semis. What can you tell them about us, Jeremy?
Well, USD's had a great weekend, and the big thing that stands out to me is, one, they're always in control with the ball in hand. The second thing is their physicality in the tackle and at the breakdown has caused a lot of problems and was really the main reason they beat UCLA. So they will definitely test Cal. I think we'll see a different Cal than we saw in the semi-final, but you know, it's all to play for.
And the restart is high to start us off, and it's going to be Paulie Habib with the first touch for USD, and that's a great take, and the restart goes to Caleb Thomasine, and they're looking to find the edge early, which they nearly do. The Fen doesn't exactly go in, and he's adjudged to have been off his feet for the poach. And again, we are starting fiery in this final. Everything seems to be going through Caleb Thomasine in the middle, and they're trying to get to Paulie Habib on the edge, who is a great ball carrier. We've gone left to right, and we're coming back to left again. A decent start from this USD team, but Cal are equally matching them on D. That's number 1 there, Jackson Short with the carry, and we're back to Thomasine again. There's some great animation, some great shouting from the touchline, because they know that the first few minutes of this game are so important. You cannot let Cal go up on you early, as they have done to so many teams today. Will, what do you think of this? We're still looking at USD hold on to the ball from the first restart.
This is a top quality sevens game, as you can see. Movement on the ball, but excellent defence from Cal Berkeley. And shown there, what a wonderful tackle by that number 11, Jack Bizio. He's been brilliant throughout this tournament. He'll get the turnover as well, so it'll be a Cal line out. Really good defensive effort. They really fill the field well. They stay connected together, pushing that USD Torero's attack to the outside. I mean, really good start to this game.
Yeah, really good start from both teams, but you can see no panic in D from Cal. They're going to walk into this line out, pop it up at the top, and as the ball went back to Solomon Williams, that's a judge to be crooked, and you can hear the cheers from this touchline, both the cheers from USD and the lads from Cal saying everything's fine, we're still in the USD half.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, the lineouts are hard. The wind's picked up again, so not straight of a lineout. But USD, very impressive. Edge to edge to edge to edge.
All right, for the first put-in, we've seen Cal contest the 3-man scrums all day. Will they do the same now? They seem to have a few big men on the pitch. Will they challenge this and make it a poison ball for Caleb Thomasine? They try to push, but USD are equal to the task. And now we have the ball back in the USD hands again through Caleb Thomasine. Has a little snipe, and he gets up the middle, tries to free a hand, but doesn't manage it, and we're still in possession through Paulie Habib, but we have a knock on. What a great start to the game. A lot of pressure from those Cal boys. The USD side have tried to play with it a lot.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well. You've got, as I say, proper sevens tactics, playing with your playmakers. Thomason clearly being the playmaker for the Toreros, USD, and then the likes of this man, Solomon Williams, and Ran Santos, who will be first receiver. They're going to play around those playmakers, so keep an eye out on those ball players. They'll feed the speed, but they are key to being attacking success for both their sides.
They've popped the scrummers up there, and they've the reset, but you can just see on the right hand side of the scrum there is a little bit of space. Will you see Solomon Williams go there? No, you won't, but you will see him on the loop. But a big hard carry in midfield. That's Chris Biller, and fantastic work, gets it back to last weekend's MVP, Solomon Williams, local boy from the Carlsbad Thunder, and he gets himself in for a try. 1 win at the set piece and 1 possession for Cal, and they've managed to get a try.
Which is what they do, right? They, as you said before, they don't panic. They stay within their structure, and when they get an opportunity, they strike. And I think what's going to be real exciting for me the next few minutes is watching the matchup between Solomon Williams and Caleb Thomasine. You know, both been teammates for the last few years and now playing against each other. So I think that's going to be, you know, probably dictating the results of this game.
Yeah, that's a really good matchup, and I'm sure a lot of that matchup you'll see, it'll be about game management, managing the game, just as we have a look at this replay.
Yeah, having a look at the way how it gets into the hands of Ran Santos early. They do this little wraparound play. I actually really enjoy seeing hard lines and sevens. It's almost the unexpected. It really sucks in defenders, and then that gives the likes of a Solomon Williams on the second phase the space to roam and attack round the fringe.
The restart is high. It looks to be tapped back, but that's a judge to be forward. That's a good effort.
It was a really good restart. Ran Santos putting that in the air. Remember, it's going to hold up in that wind. And talking of the wind, we have talked about this a lot, but I just think USD are going to have to try different things. If I was them, I know it's not a sevens orientated game plan, but the idea of putting it down, using the territory, use the wind, and ask questions maybe inside the Cal 22.
Very good point, Will Hooley. You can see that Cal aren't even putting anyone in the backfield at the moment, and there is a strong wind. The 7-man up in the line is allowing them to make those big tackles. Just as they get the penalty again, they don't choose territory, but they are going to play. They have a little bit of a space in the middle. Is that a high shot? Yes, it is.
Yeah, looks like
Ref
they're going to have a card.
pen, reaches for the pocket, and just as you said, Jeremy, it's a card. And is that Ran Santos that has got it? A very crucial, important player for them. So what will these 2 minutes down to 6 men without a talisman like Ran Santos do for this Cal side?
Well, as we've already mentioned, Thomason for USD, Santos, Solomon Williams as well for Cal, getting rid of one of them. will make a difference. But still, Cal put the hits in defensively, looking really strong.
That's the big man, Von Fouts, is put back, but we're going to try go to the far side here. And again, it's going to be tough work for these Cal boys playing with 6, and they've actually started to put a sweeper in now, so they've only 5 in the front line. Paulie Habib at first receiver is calling for it. There's a little bit of a snipe. You see some space in front, and now Habib does have it. He shows his aggressive ball carrying, and we're up into the Cal half for probably the first time as Caleb Thomasine has the ball, but he's wrestled to the ground. But again, that's another call for a high shot, a little bit of indiscipline, and a little pop on the outside from Thomasine to a B, but he's dumped in midfield. We might have a bit of space for Fouts, who was previously put backwards, but will he be this time? I tell you what, he had one effort at the try and the ref is awarding it. When you are tackled, you have the opportunity for one movement. I'll tell you what, Will, I'll let you look at the replay and see if the ref got that one right.
We will have a look. It's our last ditch sort of gone for the line by number 3. Fouts, I mean, we'll have another look at it as it comes up. It looks as though he's just about made it, but they use that man advantage. They move it really nicely to the width. Again, it's Tomlinson who was trying to inject the tempo with a quick tap, draw in a defender and get that overlap out wide. Here is the conversion, and it's an absolute beauty. 7-all there, or 7-5, sorry, I should say. USD take the lead.
Yeah, just as we have a look at the replay here, some big shots going in from Cal, but because they have the man advantage, Trotter is allowed to skip around to the outside and gives it to the big man. Tackle is made, and he has one opportunity to reach over the line and score a try. That's a fantastic finishing effort. And I'll tell you what, Jeremy Ognall, you had called Cal from the start and you said it would be unlikely for someone to pip them, but right now it's USD 7, Cal at 5. Can this local team hang on against the big boys?
Well, they absolutely can. Question really is, will they? I think a lot of things are playing in their favor. They're playing extremely well. Cal's discipline has let them down. You know, 2 or 3 consecutive penalties, a yellow card that put a boy in the naughty boy chair for 2 minutes. So I can just see the body language right now. There's some harsh words going in. Cal know what they're capable of. They've got 7 minutes to fix it.
Yeah, of course. And we did see Solomon Williams go in for the try. He was the MVP, the Noodlebags MVP of last week's tournaments, and we will have a Noodlebags MVP of this weekend. And who do you think out of the boys? It's probably going to be one of these finalists, as they both have a few players who have put their hand up.
Well, it really could matter as to who takes the winning in this game. We've mentioned Caleb Thompson enough times. I really think he's had a very strong tournament. Just a real natural sevens player, and when you got that surname, then like his brother, you probably are going to be a good sevens player, aren't you? But then at the same time as well, for Cal, there's plenty of names. I know Ran Santos has been looking good, particularly in this second day. But in the whole as well, there's been plenty of tries. Oliver Teague's been really good. I also really like Quinn Speaker as well. But you can't look too much further as well than old Solomon Williams. Could he go back-to-back as MVP in this tournament?
Yeah, you mentioned Quinn Speaker, who scored 4 tries in the first game, and haven't seen too much of him since. That just really shows the strength and depth that they have at Cal. They have a multitude of players who can play at this level.
Oh yeah, they definitely spread the wealth for sure. They don't rely on one guy to carry them. Now it's a question if these 7 guys that are currently on the pitch can carry them for the next 7 minutes.
Restart goes a little bit long, and that's easily tapped, and Solomon Williams steps off the left. Can this lad go the full length of the pitch? He slows down little. It's Caleb Thomasine against Solomon Williams. Dummy gets thrown inside outside. Caleb Thomasine finally makes the tackle. Is he up on his feet to try challenge that? The referee says held up. That is a fantastic piece of individual effort from Caleb Thomasine.
Incredible, incredible. What a chase, and not just the chase that he got there, but the fact that he could control his body and hold the player up is so impressive.
Yeah, and take nothing away from Solomon Williams. He's the one who took it from the restart, had a step, and has nearly gone the full length of the pitch. So look at these 2 guys battling against each other. Solomon Williams steps off the left, straightens up, and really puts the foot down. He might not have heard too much support. He's looking around, I guess they had 2 of the USD defenders working as hard as they can, and it's this last little tackle from Thomasine who manages to hold him up over the line. That's fantastic play. And we're back to the action now, but it is a Cal penalty, and that man is back on the pitch. It's Ran Santos, and he's probably made up for the yellow card there with that one.
Yeah, I mean, having someone like that, just the know-how around Santos and his experience. He's like, I can't believe I'm using the word experience for a college player, but he genuinely does. Having him back on the field, you were going through the replay there, and then it was literally what just happened was a USD scrum. They got out of that and then got turned over. Straight away, Santos goes and grabs the ball. Tap penalty is away, and he's gone just like that.
Yeah, what stands out to me is I think Santos is, you know, definitely looking for that noodle bags MVP. He's waiting for his gift from Ian.
Well, listen, he might be in line for it as well with a conversion like that. And as we watch the replay, it just came from the knock-on, or there was a carry and then a poach. He's won it himself, taking the quick tap. That's really a lot of individual work. And again, he's restarting the game with a very high restart. Paulie Habib manages to win the tap back, but it's a challenge there from number 6, Michael De Beer from Cal, who gets another try in quick succession. And that's what they can do for you in the area where we feel they're very strong, which is the set piece, including the restart.
It comes back to that man, Ran Santos. I actually didn't appreciate the previous try. He got the turnover and then scored, but in that one, that's an assist in my view. What a beautiful restart, putting it up in the air. Yes, De Beer does brilliantly to get hold of it, but a terrific player, this Ran Santos. The fly half, obviously, naturally in the 15s game, he obviously has a great boot, and he's putting it to good use because that's an assist from the restart. Such a high-hanging restart, gives De Beer the time to get underneath it. Can he repeat it?
And he makes the conversion, so he just completes the loop. Very impressive.
That's a big swing of points there in the last 90 seconds. It's 19-7 now to USD, as again, the lifter is called off and the man at the back gets it. Paulie Habib wins the ruck and Thomasine has the ball in his hands again. The wind is on front of them, so they'll have to carry this one. No option to kick, but a big, strong carry from Dom Martinez brings us up to the 10-metre line. All right, possession now for USD. We still have 3.5 minutes left in the game. It's all to play for. They're going to go to the edge. Good step from a lad we've seen score a few tries today and great offload. Thomasine is following. Can he pick it up off his bootlaces? Yes, he can, of course. And he's supported by Paulie Habib. Great work. And I tell you, a lot of effort to get up to the halfway line. And that's not rolling or not releasing from Ran Santos. And they have another opportunity to go. Martinez. That's number 12 now. That is Josh Butler. We've seen him score a few. And again, that big man on the edge, breaking tackles and managing to show his pace as well. USD are back in the game.
And it's underneath the sticks. And it's a possibility, therefore, for a much easier conversion, because then another 2 points makes a difference. Really strong play, really strong carry from Josh Butler on that far edge. And the conversion is good. So a 19-14 game.
All right, as we try to relax ourselves after that, we'll watch the replay, and it really came from this interplay. Fair play to Caleb Thomasine picking that one up off the bootlaces, but they do keep it alive, and finally when they do get it out to Josh Butler, we've seen throughout the tournament that he can break a tackle. And look at that for a bump. USD have actually had a couple of bumps. Caulfield, now Butler throughout the day. A little bit of style play from them is being very aggressive as the ball has gone back into Cal's hands. We've got 2 minutes left in the game. It's 19-14. And the penalty does go to Cal. Will they just choose to slow it down? Yes, I thought they might. They're a structure-based set-piece team, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And going back to Josh Butler, what a try. I mean, he's been doing that all tournament. You know, he's a load to stop. If you don't get your head in the right position, which the Cal defender didn't, then he can bowl you over and score untouched. Now, as you said, Cal's going to slow it down, milk the clock, try and play a possession game, you know, hopefully get a score, but at least hold on to the ball.
We've got a couple of substitutes coming on. Paulie Habib has had a fantastic term and he makes way. Cade Caulfield, who scored a bumper of a try. And yeah, as we move on here with about 90 seconds to go, what are we thinking for a tournament MVP?
Oh, I don't know, it's really hard because I honestly, Tomlinson, I know he's on the losing side at the moment, but he's been absolutely superb, and he's been superb throughout the whole tournament. But Ran Santos, who's just part of that pass there, getting involved in that breakdown, he has been such a difference. But USD, just you can feel that energy now. They go quick.
They've gone quick through Caulfield. They get one pass, and it's the big man on the edge. Can he evade that tackle? No, he can't. But the ball goes back to Trotter, who's kicked so well, and Caleb Thomasine now straightens up. Now he swerves. He avoids one would-be tackler, and he's got a big man on the edge. Will he use him? Oh, that is tough. We talk about little moments in a game. If that one goes to hand to the big man, Von Fouts, they could have been in and over, but they're still here. They're still in the zone as we watch that replay. just thrown into touch.
I think that was Oliver Teague, was it? No, who was it with that try-saving tackle? I think it was 22 Teague. He very much could be an MVP for the tournament. He's been superb, mainly with his try-scoring ability, but there, defensively, I mean, literally a try-saving tackle.
30 seconds to go. Can Cal back their set-piece play by winning it? And they can, and that's Quinn Speaker on the pitch, who goes to Solomon Williams, who straightens up, and he's going to look to hold on to the ball. They commit 2 to the ruck to make sure it's 1. And perhaps possession is the game now. No, it's not. It is still play. And look at these lads chasing. This is the game. And we asked the question about MVP.
I think we have it.
That might be your answer. The swan dive comes, and Cal look to have won the West Coast Sevens with, I'll tell you what, an absolutely worldy of an individual effort.
Oh, wonderful play. Wonderful from Ran Santos. He's done it all in this game, assisting, turning ball over, scoring tries, and in the end, and we've gone right down to the wire. What a competition. What brilliant Sevens rugby to finish this whole weekend off. And Ran Santos gets the extras. A deserved MVP and a deserved win for Cal Berkeley. Another tournament success for them.
Yeah, a fantastic win for them. It must be said, the showcase here at the West Coast Sevens in San Diego has been fantastic. Big shout out to USD head coach Charlie Purdon. They've been coached so well. But of course, Cal with head coach Jack Clark and assistant coach Tom Billups. They've really, really built this team up to be something special, haven't they?
Oh, incredible. And, you know, they were given everything they could handle by USD. Again, all credit to USD. Some incredible play. Thomasine really was the guy that made them go. But like you said, the tackle on the edge there was a game changer, and then Santos finished it. So, Will's already named as the MVP, and I have to agree. There were a lot of people who put their hands up, but Santos is the man of the tournament.
Congrats to Ran Santos, your Noodle Bags MVP. And if you just have a look at this here, the swing of momentum in Sevens games, perhaps that could have been the pass and the try, but instead Quinn Speaker wins the line out. Solomon Williams has a carry, and have a look at this here.
Oh, it's a brilliant left foot step. I mean, there were so many quality players who were involved in that play. Yes, Ran Santos runs away with it in the end, but Oliver Teague, he was the number 22 with that tackle for the whole tournament. He's been superb, but you've got to give the most valuable player to the man that changed it, changed the whole look of this game for Cal Berkeley. It was dogged at times, but he really was. Ran Santos, a star man, a star in the making, and for Cal, that's a big tournament win for them. Congratulations.
Yes, of course. And if we were to summarise this tournament, Jeremy, we've seen the top dogs probably deservedly win it, but what do you think overall from some of the developing teams, those mid-level teams, and the challengers like USD, a small program which has nerdy pipped them at the end?
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, everything about the tournament you just mentioned has been fantastic, from Cal as the cup winners all the way through to University of Texas El Paso, who contributed massively to this tournament. And I'd like to say, on a personal level, I want to thank you and Will for your kindness, for having me in the booth, for TVX for all the work that they've put in. It has been an absolute blast, and I'm looking forward to a cold shower and probably a cold beer or two tonight.
Of course, it's been a fantastic tournament down here in the OSTC with the West Coast Sevens. Big thanks to TVX Sports. You've been watching here on the Rugby Network. I am Ian Denham. I don't know how they afforded Will Hooley to come down here, but thanks very much for joining us in the booth, Will.
Appreciate it, as always. It was a heavy discount, don't you worry about it. No, really enjoyed it. Great to grow this game, great to grow college rugby and the high school yesterday. How good was the high school? As we see our ugly mugs on the screen just now. Congratulations to everyone involved.
The high school was fantastic yesterday, and these are going to be the guys who go on to play at the college level very soon.
We're just getting our ugly mug shot by Warren Speaker. Thanks, Warren, for the tournament. What a great couple of days, boys. Absolute privilege being with you.
And you can just have a look at that USD side. Togetherness and a great culture with that bunch. We'll wrap it up here from the Rugby Network and TVX Sports. Will Hooley, I'll leave you with the last word.
Oh, just a brilliant weekend. The talent on display, of course, here at the home of USA Rugby Sevens. Hopefully these men, we can see them maybe in USA colours. Going forward, of course, to that 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. It's great to see college rugby thriving. It's great to see this tournament doing so well. Thank you for joining us. Well done, Cal. They pick it up, winning 26 points to 14 against USD. Fantastic weekend. Guys, thank you so much. Let's go and have a beer.
Absolutely. Cheers.